So guys, today we are going to learn about basics of the control system. So we are starting with control system. So first what we need to understand in control system is what do you mean by control system? So as the name suggests, basically control system is a system that controls something. It is being used to control something. Like if you see in your homes, there might be AC. So what an AC does is AC basically controls the temperature. So AC is a control system which is controlling my temperature. Now these sort of systems you can find everywhere in your real life. Like AC controls the temperature, steering wheel controls the direction of the car, accelerator controls the speed of the car. Similarly, the dial of the fan controls the speed of the fan. These way all the systems can be treated as a control system. So we are all around surrounded by the control systems. Whatever systems you encounter in your real life are basically examples of control system. So now if you see, we can represent a control system by such a block diagram. A simple block diagram we can represent. Here control system, we are not interested in functionality of the control system, how is it working, what are the components. So I have just represented the entire control system by a block. So if you see, the input to a block is called as actuating signal because it is actuating my system, it is making my system work. So it is called as actuating signal, and the output is called as controlled variable. Suppose if I am talking about AC, then my controlled variable will be temperature because temperature is the quantity that is being controlled. So the quantity that we are controlling by the means of a control system will be called as controlled variable. And the other thing is that by what means are you controlling that quantity? Like in case of AC, there will be a remote. So remote will send out a signal that will be called as actuating signal. Similarly, if we take the example of a car, then my steering wheel position will be actuating signal, and controlled variable will be direction of front tires, because by controlling steering wheel position we will change the direction of front tires. So control variable will be direction of front tires, and the same in the same direction my car will also head, or my automobile will also head. So these sort of systems are called as control system. Here we are controlling one quantity by means of an input. Now the control systems can be divided into two categories. One is called as open loop system, other is called as closed loop system. Now first we talk about open loop systems. What happens in open loop system is basically output is never fed back to the input. Means input and output will have some components in between, but output we are not feeding it back to the input. What happens, let us take a practical example. Suppose there is a washing machine. Okay, we are talking about washing machine. So what happens in a washing machine is I'll put some clothes into it and I'll set the timer. Okay, so we will set the timer, and output will be clean clothes. Now sometimes what may happen is there may be some stains remaining on the clothes. So my washing machine does not care about how many stains are remaining on the clothes. It will never check that. It will only work for the time that you have set. In that time, if clothes are cleaned, then also fine. If it is not clean, then also fine. So those sort of systems are called as open loop, in which the system is not checking whether the output is correct or not. Okay, it can be correct or incorrect. System does not care. So these sort of systems are called as open loop system, in which output may be accurate or may be inaccurate. So system will work based on the input, but it will never check the output. So here we have shown two quantities. One is called as controller, other is called as controlled process. So controller basically, let us say microprocessor in my washing machine. Controlled process will be its tub that is rotating, tub or motor. we can say motor is rotating the tub, so control process will be tub, and my controller will be microprocessor or the motherboard that I have installed in my washing machine. So this sort of system is called as open loop control system. But now if we see, the main problem that arises with open loop systems is basically the output can be incorrect also, like stains can remain on my clothes also. So the desirable condition is that output should be as accurate as possible. So here there is a problem of accuracy. Accuracy is not guaranteed, but what I want is the system should be accurate. So what we need to do is we need to check the output at regular intervals of time to determine whether my output is at desired value or not. Now if output is deviating from the desired value, what we need to do is we need to correct the deviation, or we need to bring the deviation to 0. Such a system is called as closed loop control system. Now if you see here, output is being fed back to the input. Now we here compare the input and the output, and if they are not equal, then there will be some error signal. This error signal indicates what is the difference between input and output. So this error signal should ideally be 0. Its ideal value will be 0, because the whatever the input I give, corresponding to that only the output should come. So system will keep on working till my error signal goes to 0, or what we can say, till the difference between cleaned clothes and the clothes in the machine is 0. That means all my clothes have been cleaned. Till we get desired output, the system will keep on working. Okay? So if we get desired output, then the system will stop working or the input will go to 0, because this error signal will go to 0 if the output is at desired value. So in this system we have an additional element called as feedback. What is the use of feedback is, suppose basically our control system will work on most of the times electrical signals. So we need to convert the output to a equivalent electrical signal. Now suppose I am talking about, let us say, speed control. If we are controlling the speed of a motor, then output will be speed. But here when I am subtracting, I need an equivalent electrical signal. So we need a device which converts speed into an electrical signal. So that's why we will use feedback as tachometer. Tachometer is a device which will convert speed into an electrical signal. So these sort of elements will be called as feedback elements. Other components are same, controller and controlled process. Only that feedback element is an extra element in our case. So this element will convert output into the desired value or the desired form. It is just functioning like a transducer and nothing else. It is a sensor or a transducer. Okay. So here whatever the benefit is we get more accuracy. Earlier we were not getting accuracy, but here we are getting more accuracy. We can take one more example of a closed loop control system, that is a human body. Now what we do is, suppose you conduct an experiment. Try doing it yourself also. Suppose I want to pick a book from a table. Now while picking a book, I need my eyes to know where the book is lying. So eyes are working as a feedback element. They are telling me whether or not I am heading in the correct direction to pick up the book. So eyes are kind of sensors. So whenever you are going towards the book, eyes will always tell you your relative position with respect to the book. And your target is that the distance between you and book should get to 0. If the distance between you and the book is 0, that means you have picked up the book. So eyes will tell you where the book is lying and what is the distance between you and the book, so you can reduce the distance. So there feedback element will be eye, controller will be my mind, process will be, let us say, hand position. So mind is acting as a controller, eye is acting as a feedback element, and hand is acting as a controlled process. So these are the systems that I am using while picking up a book. Now suppose I remove the feedback element. So don't worry, I am not removing the eyes. What I am saying is, suppose I make you blindfolded. No need to get into such dangerous acts that I am removing the eyes. Just I am blindfolding you so that my eyes are not at all functioning now. So eyes have been taken out of the picture, so there is no feedback. Now what happens is, if there is no feedback, I don't know where the book is lying. Even if I try to book, most of the chances is that I will fail because I will head in a random direction and I may not be able to pick up the book. So that way my accuracy will be lost. So in an open loop system, the chances of system being accurate are very less. But in a closed loop system, accuracy is more. So closed loop systems are always preferable. So throughout the course, we will deal with both kinds of system, open loop and closed loop system, and we will be comparing the characteristics of both the systems. Hope it is clear to you what is the difference between open loop and closed loop. In closed loop, only a feedback is extra to make the system more accurate. Now, before starting study of control system, we need to get acquainted with some terminologies that are being used in the system. So if we compare first of all open loop and closed loop, in open loop and closed loop, what we saw is no feedback, and in closed loop there is some feedback. Okay, and open loop less accurate, closed loop system is more accurate. Okay, some example, like just let us say washing machine. It is an example of open loop system, and closed loop system is human body. All our sensory organs work as feedback elements. All our five senses. If you don't have a sixth sense that most of us don't have, then five senses will work as our feedback element. Okay, so these are the basic differences between open loop systems and closed loop systems. Now moving to the terminologies that we use in a system is, first is controlled variable. Now what is controlled variable is, basically controlled variable is the output of the system, the quantity that is being controlled. So in case of automobile, let us say direction can be the controlled variable, or what else can be the controlled variable? Speed can be the controlled variable. So these two variables we control in case of a automobile. So these two can be called as controlled variable. Controlled variable is nothing but output of system. Whatever the quantity we are controlling, that is the output, will be called as controlled variable. Okay. Next quantity is called as manipulated variable. This is also called as actuating signal. So what happens is, actuating signal is the signal which activates or actuates my system. So this is the output of the controller. This signal here will be called as actuating this signal here will be called as actuating signal. This is the output of my controller. This is the actuating signal which is being fed to the controlled process. So this is the actuating signal. The output of controller is called as actuating signal, and the output of system is called as controlled variable. Next thing is plant. So if you see here, this controlled process, this is called as plant. Plant can be simply something like motor. If we are controlling the speed of the motor, then plant will be motor. Controlled process will be my motor. If we are washing the clothes in a washing machine, then my plant will be the motor installed inside a washing machine. If we are controlling the temperature using a AC, then my blower inside the AC can be termed as a plant or controlled process. So these sort of systems which are actually doing work inside the system, which are actually responsible for maintaining the output, are called as plant. So plant can be a single machine or it can be a collection of components, but it is serving the required purpose. Like if you see, the automobile totally is a plant, because there the direction also matters, the speed also matters, and we know a automobile is a collection of many components. It is collection of steering wheel, it is collection of tires, it is collection of engine, it is collection of many other things like your controller and all those things. So it is entirely collectively called as a plant. So plant can be combination of a multiple components or can be a single component, but it is the most important component because we are controlling the output of the plant. So output of the plant will be called as controlled variable. Input of the plant will be called as actuating signal, and the plant is doing the work. The last thing is called as disturbance. So now what happens is, in a electromagnetic system, there might be some waves interfering neighboring waves, like mostly what you see in telephone lines. Something what happens is disturbance is coming. Now why that disturbance occurs in my system? That disturbance may come due to power lines, because telephone lines are always laid in parallel with the power lines, and high power lines can interfere with your communication signal. So those sort of disturbance can also arise inside my system. So disturbance is undesired quantity that can be internal to the system or external. Disturbance can be internal as well as external. Like in case of telephone lines, disturbance due to power lines is external. So this will be external. Internal can be inter-component interference. Like if there are two chips in a circuit, and if both the chips are interfering with each other, that will be called as internal interference. So interference can arise in the system like this. Disturbance can come. Here we can connect a disturbing signal. There can be an electromagnetic disturbance entering into my system. So that is always a undesired quantity. Disturbance can be internal as well as external. So we will continuously look at these terms throughout the course of this control systems. So better be acquainted with these terms and be clear why control systems are used and what are the types of control systems. Because mostly control system will be a numerical type of subject where we'll be dealing mostly with problem solving. But you need to know why we are studying each and every topic and what is the objective of design of control system. Why we are designing a control system. So we are designing a control system because we need to control some quantity. That quantity is actually a physical quantity like temperature, speed, direction, something like that. So we need to control that. So we are designing a system. In rest of the course, whatever we study will be basically focused on that design. I will need to improve my design. I will need to make the design as good as possible so that my control system is working fine. In the next lecture, we will be studying about how to model this control system. What are the models that we can use, or what are the mathematical model that I can use? How can I mathematically represent a control system? That we will be studying in our next lecture.